Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the new-ish Colourpop palettes. These are the Yes Please Eyeshadow Palette and the Gimme More Highlighting Palette. The reason why this video is a little bit late is because these palettes took a little bit longer than usual to get sent out to me. It took like 3 weeks, usually it would take 2 weeks for Colourpop, but I finally got it, and the reason why I wanted to review these palettes specifically is because when I first saw them, I was like, these are dupes. So the eyeshadow palette really reminds me of the Natasha Denona one. I'm sure you guys all know. Just these shades and the vibe that I'm getting from it really reminds me of that. But if you watch my anti-haul, you guys know I'm not gonna purchase anything from Natasha Denona because it's too expensive. So I won't have a dupe to compare it side by side with swatches and everything. So I will link Kathleen Light and J Kiss's video down below. They have that palette so they can swatch it for you guys, and unfortunately I don't have the palette, but I'll be reviewing it as usual, and I did do a demo on this look using this palette today. And then for the highlighting palette, the Gimme More palette, this, when I first saw this, I was like, ABH Nicole Glow Kit. Like, it looks so similar, and I do have the Nicole Glow Kit, so I will be swatching them side by side, telling you guys what I think about them. So yeah, if you guys want to learn a little bit more about these products, about my review, and see some swatches and also this demo, then just continue watching. First, I'm gonna talk about the eyeshadow palette just because I don't have the dupe with me, but this is the Yes Please palette. It just says QAF on it, but it's actually called the Yes Please palette, which is kind of confusing. So this guy is $16, comes with 12 shadows, and it comes with a good mixture of shimmers and mattes. You guys know I love Colourpop shadows. They blend so easily, they're so pigmented, just really good shadows to work with for the price point. This is the original pressed shadow pan, and if you compare it right next to it, it is a little bit smaller, so you are getting less product, but honestly I don't mind that much because when are you ever gonna hit pan on an eyeshadow, really? I love every single shade. I've like used almost every single shade in this palette, and it's beautiful. There's just so many looks you could do with this one palette, and I love how it's so compact. But there are two cons that I don't like about this palette. First, that there is a lot of fallout, and I know Colourpop's shadows do have a lot of fallout when you use them, but because these shadows are so close together, like let's say for example this orange, this bright orange shade, it's right next to the vanilla white, like the lighter shade in there, and when it falls out, some of the product does go into this pan just because they're so close together, and it can kind of mix the color a little bit. Honestly, a minor thing. It doesn't change the fact that these eyeshadows are bomb. I really do like this. I do think it's worth $16. This palette is so nice. It's just like my everything palette right now. Like all these beautiful shades in one palette. I love it so much. And also another thing that I like about this palette is that they have the names on it. I feel like Colourpop does take in their customer feedback and really nicely, and they have started sticking their names on the packaging, which I'm very happy about. Now let's go on to the highlighting palette. This is called the Gimme More palette, but it just says I like your face on it. This is their pressed powder formula. There is a lot of fallout, and I feel like it does cake up a lot, but the formula to me is very similar to the Nicole Glow Kit, where it's very glittery. I do think it's very glittery. As for it being a dupe, I don't think so. Like in the pan, when you look at it, I do feel like they look very similar, but once you go in and start swatching it, it does look different. The tones are different, but I feel like you can get a similar effect. So if you don't want to spend $40 on the Nicole Glow Kit, I do say go for the Gimme More, because I do think you can get a similar effect, and the formula is pretty much similar, like kind of the same. I don't really see too much of a difference. So let's go ahead and talk about the comparisons with the Nicole Glow Kit. So the first shade in the Nicole Glow Kit is called Kitty Cat, which is just like a pink champagne color. And then for the dupe in the Colourpop palette, it would be called Full Service, which is also, you know, the pink in the palette. These two are definitely not a dupe, but they probably would be the closest to a dupe. The Nicole Glow Kit is more like a pink champagne, and the Colourpop one is more like a rosy gold. And then next we have Forever Young, and that would be, in my opinion, probably the most similar to Full Service, which is the darkest shade in the palette. Forever Young is a lot lighter, but it does have that like purpley undertone, whereas Full Service is a lot more darker and it does have that burgundy undertone underneath. Therefore, I would think these two are the same. Again, half these shades in here are similar and half these shades are not. And then next we have Daydream and Bottomless. These two I would say are probably the most similar comparing the two. Daydream is a lot more like orangey and true to an orange, like a peachy orange, but Bottomless has a lot of gold reflex in it, but it still has that oranginess to it. That's why I feel like these two are probably a little bit similar. And then next we have Forever Lit, which is a beautiful like true white, but it has like a reflex of blue. And then this most similar one I would say is probably Upgrade. Upgrade is a very white itself, but it's more like a true white. It doesn't have blue reflex in it, but I would say these two are probably more similar to each other. And then we have Glow Getter, which is probably one of my favorite shades from the palette, and this would be similar to Bigger and Better. These two are very similar as well. Bigger and Better is probably a little bit more lighter and a bit more brighter gold, and then Glow Getter is a bit darker. Again, I probably would say that Kitty Cat, Daydream, Glow Getter, and Forever Lit has like the similar dupe, but the rest are probably just a little bit off, or they don't have a dupe at all. But yeah, that is the kind of swatches side by side on these two palettes here. Again, they are not dupes for each other. I really don't think they are dupes, but you can get a similar effect from the Colourpop palette to the Nicole Guerrero palette. And that is going to be my review portion. Let's go ahead to the demo. So to start off, I am going to be using Full Zip to set down my base. This is just like a vanilla matte shade, which is perfect, and I really love when a palette includes a shade like this because I always set down my primer. Now I'm taking these shades Note to Self and Big Cocktails. I have been loving mixing these two shades together to get the perfect transition. And I'm going to take that on my E40 and I'm going to put that into the crease and just really smoke it out. Now I'm taking my Morphe M573 and I'm just going to blend the edges out, taking just a super clean brush, no product on it, and just really buffing out the edges. Now I'm going to be taking the shade French Kiss on my Morphe M433 and I'm just going to put this all over my lid and kind of blending that into the transition shade. Then going back in with my two transition shades and just building up that color again. And then taking my clean blending brush, just going over everything once more. I'm going to be taking a concealer and I'm going to start carving out my crease. I'm not going to do a half cut crease this time. I'm going to go all the way to the end, following the natural curve of my eye. Well, I'm going to try my best to. And like always, I'm going to go above my natural crease. That way when I look up, you still can see it and there won't be any transferring happening on my eyes. And now I'm taking the yellow shade in the palette, and this is called Mischief, and I'm going to start packing that on to my lid. Okay, so that's all the eyeshadow that I'm going to be putting on my top lids. I'm going to go off camera to do my wing liner and then I'm going to finish off my base and then we'll come back to do the lower lash line and I'll show you guys the highlighter as well. And now I'm going to be mixing GNO and French Kiss together. And I'm going to use these two shades to smoke out my lower lash line. I'm using the Makeup Collective number 11 brush to do so. And then taking a kohl liner, I'm going to run that on my lower lash line. Next up, I'm going to be using a Butter Cake to highlight the inner corner. This shade is a beautiful gold and it's quite loose. And now to highlight, I'm going to be using the Gimme More palette, and I'm taking the shade Bigger and Better. And then I'm going to be taking a mixture of Extra and Upgrade, and I'm taking this on a Makeup Collective number 15 brush. This is just like a blender brush, but it's very small and tapered. I'm going to put this on the really high points just to vamp it up a little bit more. And this, guys, is completed makeup look. For lashes, I am wearing Whiplash, and for my lips, I am wearing I'm Shook by Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and this is the completed makeup look. And that, guys, is going to conclude my video for today. I hope you guys did find my review and my demo and my swatches, everything like that, helpful to help you guys decide if you guys want to purchase this or not. If you did find it helpful, please give this video a thumbs up for me. And also, I would love to know your opinion in the comments down below. Are you guys going to get the restock? Have you guys already got this? What do you guys think of it? Comment down below, leave me your thoughts. I would love to hear them. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye!